Today I want to talk about the longevity of our collections. Hey, it's Chris the Batman Statue Collector. Welcome back once again to Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles. I'm just here enjoying my iced caffeinated beverage. Delicious. And I hope you're all having a great day out there. And I want to give a shout out to this guy right here. This is a guy named Paul Walker. I don't know if that's his real name or not, but Paul reached out and said, hey, Chris, big fan of your channel. I love what you do. I love your collection. And I had just had some thoughts about something that I don't see a lot of people talking about, and that is the longevity of your collection, how to keep your collection fresh. And I thought that was a very cool topic, and so he gave me this really great email. He said, you know, if you want to talk about it on the channel, go for it. So here I am talking about it, because it is something that we don't necessarily talk about. We're always talking about the next new shiny new thing, right? But a lot of times when you have had pieces in your collection for some time, you might tend to overlook those pieces because, again, you're always searching for those new shiny new things. I'm guilty of that. I do it every single day of my life. I'm always looking for the next exciting new sculpt or, you know, the next exciting new Batman release or whatever it might be, whatever you are excited about. But oftentimes I find that I overlook some of the pieces that are currently in my collection. I'm guilty of that. I mean, I come down here, I work, I do my filming, I do all my stuff, and sometimes I don't even look at the statues. And which I know some of you are like, Chris, you have an amazing collection. How could you possibly do that? But I'm sure you guys have done the same. I'm sure you come into your collection room and you're like, you've seen it before, right? You've seen it a million times. You don't need to go look at it today. But there are times where I do come through and I walk through and look at every single thing I have, and I'm like just remembering why I love it, like why I love this hobby. And there are certain limitations that we can do with collectibles. Now, if you're a Hot Toys collector, I think you can change up the pose a lot. You can do a lot of those type of things. But with statue collectors, most people like the statues is because they are stagnant. They are posed the way they are. Now, of course, companies over the years have added all sorts of swap outs. They've added different portraits. So yes, you can do those things. You absolutely can. But once you've done that, then what? Now, I am somebody that tends to like leave the statue the way I have it. Like that's the way I like it. I don't tend to do the swap outs with the heads and stuff. And I probably should to keep my collection fresh, which would probably be better for the channel too, you know, to have some things that change up. But I tend to leave things the way I like them. I think probably most of us are like that, but yes, we can swap those things out. But then once you've done that, once you've done all the swap outs and, you know, you've kind of seen everything you can see, how do you keep your collection fresh? For the longevity of your collection. And again, I want to thank Paul for reaching out and giving different ideas. And basically what he talks about is that he creates a story. He creates a story for each statue or each collectible. And he tries to figure out ways to maybe tweak it or add it. He also talks about how, you know, sometimes just the evolution of where you have things. You guys have seen the evolution of my collection from an upstairs attic to a smaller bedroom, bat cave to this room here. You guys have seen that collection evolve, where I've moved things, where I've tweaked things, not necessarily the way the statue looks, but just placement. And again, Paul goes on to talk about that quite a bit, where he says, you know, when I got a J&D piece, and from when I first got it in, I moved it, I tweaked it, I added a different display, I had it in IKEA, or now I have it in Magicase, or whatever you might use. The tweaking of that, and not only the tweaking of the display and the placement of it, but also the tweaking of the lighting and how that hits the statue. So there's so many ways that you can actually improve and update your collection just simply by moving something, by moving it and giving it a fresh look. Now you guys know that I have the middle of my collection. I have this big giant open space in the middle, right? And so I can tweak. And that's what I love about this space is I can tweak it however I want. I can move things around and give it a fresh feel because it's just a different place in the room. The way the light hits it, the way my eye catches it as I come into the room. So that is also something, again, I really appreciate Paul talking about, because that is another easy way to increase the longevity, to increase that excitement of what you have currently. And whether it is, you know, whether you have 5 pieces or 100 pieces, you could do a lot of different things with your space. I know a lot of you are limited with your space. You tell me all the time, Chris, I just have this little room or I have this little space. What could I possibly do? No, just maybe tweak it, move some things around, right? Play with the lighting. Easy. And like he says, create a story, create a story for each statue, connect it somehow to a story that you love in the comics. I'm looking behind the camera right here at my Lee Bermejo, Batman Damned, and Joker. Those pieces connect to me because I love those stories. And I can create more stories. It's like, Joker's, facing Batman, and, you can just, again, create the battle in your head. And so that connection might inspire you also to be excited about your statue. And again, I don't change mine around a lot, but again, that's something simple I could do. He also talks a little bit about like adding accessories or things like that. Like he added a little newspaper, like a little custom newspaper to one of his statues. That's simple, right? Creating more. Or if you haven't bought the exclusive, let's say you bought the regular of something, maybe searching the Facebook groups, buy, sell, trade. Again, ours is BSC, buy, sell, trade on Facebook. And you can also go on eBay and other places, and where you can get those bonus and swap it out that way, or that hunt for the exclusive pieces that you missed out on. You could do that too. But there is a lot of things you can do to extend the love that you have for your collectibles. Again, I feel like a lot of us probably overlook stuff all the time. We have the stuff in our collection, but we don't see it, right? We don't see it, and we don't take the time to appreciate it. To live in the moment. I think we all could learn from that, right? Just to live in the moment, because I don't know if we always do a very good job of that. But I feel like in the world that we live in right now, with all the craziness and all the chaos, I feel like living in the moment is pretty important, and appreciating the things that you've collected, the things that you loved and may have lost a little love for. And if it's something that you don't connect with anymore, let it go. Let it go. Save your money. I know it's not a great buyer's market, but it's a great buyer's market. It's not a good seller market. But yeah, take that money, put it aside for when you do see something that you really like, and then maybe you would connect that again. But if you come into your collection and you're like, I don't like that one, I don't like this one, I don't like that one, move on. It's just stuff, guys. It's just stuff. And at the end of the day, we're not taking any of it with us. So if it doesn't connect with you, if it doesn't resonate with you, move on. It's time to move on, right? So anyway, I thought it was just interesting to talk about the longevity. If pieces still matter to you, find new ways to appreciate it, right? And I want to thank Paul for the great idea. Sometimes when I talk to you guys, it's not always easy to come up with things that we haven't talked about over the last 8 years here on this channel. But in that amount of time, we've covered a lot of things. But it's always kind of nice to talk about something different. So again, I want to thank Paul. I want to thank you guys out there for watching. I do hope that you're all having a great day out there. And I just want to take a second to once again thank you for your continued support of this channel. I love you guys very much. You mean the world to me, your support, just your interaction. And thanks for still being part of the hobby. I know a lot of people have abandoned ship, and I don't blame them. It's tough to be a collector right now, but I'm still optimistic, and I'm going to continue to be, because that's just the person I am. And I'm going to keep being positive here on this channel, whether you like it or not. I know some of you hate me for that, but I don't care. See ya. I'm going to keep being me. You keep being you. And we'll see you in the Batcave. Bye, everybody. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.